How was the day going? Today, I will bring the news from South Africa. What the Minister of South Africa actually said concerning Nigerians. Remember, we actually said South Africa should compensate Nigeria for their losses, for the destruction of their properties. And to my own amazement, the woman was saying that Nigerians are not really worthy to be compensated. That the South African government will not compensate any Nigerian for any of their properties. You can imagine. You can imagine what an infantry. South Africa of yesterday, see the way they are bragging now. Will you blame them? The answer is no. And the funniest part that she actually said was that instead of we talking about compensating our citizens, we should come and show them where the drugs are so that they can clean them off. Meaning, we are drug dealers. You can imagine. Even the protest is still ongoing. And the fact remains that their governments are supporting them. They are supporting them. It's very sad. Very, very sad. It is a sad one. At this point, let me leave you to the analyst on Arise. They will elaborate more.
It's deeds register, office of the deeds register. If you own a car, it's registered in the INATI system. If you own a business, it's registered with the CIPC. If you're renting offices, they're registered with landlords. But we'll be interested to know where the drug dens of Nigerians are. So they can show us where they've been holding the drugs so that we can clean the drugs in South Africa quite urgently. Those who had properties in South Africa, those properties are in the law. Informal squatter camps and informal settlements are never properties because they are illegal in the country. So you are already violating our law if you're going to tell us about a shack in some informal settlement. That's why we have also, as government, approved the PI, what is the protection of the one that makes sure that when we evict and remove informal settlements, there's no longer going to be informal settlements built in the areas, including the evictions in the informal settlements, in line with our court judgments. So if there's no compensation that will come from government, those who leave their properties, if they are properly legally registered in the country, they can dispose of the properties in the property market in South Africa, whether it's a movable or immovable property. And we are going to seriously appreciate to be told where are the drug dens. Thank you very much.
Now, South Africa's minister's comments come as Nigeria's Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirmed that 2 Nigerians have been killed in South Africa's security custody. Emeka Charles Iregbu was killed after police officers used gruesome interrogation techniques, and Nnemeka Matthew Andrew Ekpeyon, who died in the custody of the Swano Metro Police, with a search of his residence yielding no incriminating evidence whatsoever. A third Nigerian, Musa Yona Joe, also known as Big Joe, was killed by unidentified attackers in front of his shop, according to the statement. These are not just statistics. These are men with names, with families, who went to South Africa to work and build a life. And as Nigeria mourns, South Africa's minister in the presidency has not only rejected the compensation demand, but asked Nigeria to reveal its drug dens, Rufai. Can you imagine? A remark the federal government has rightly described as derogatory and unprofessional. Now, the 2 Nigerians are dead, allegedly at the hands of South African security forces. This diplomatic crisis is far from over, and Nigeria will not be silent. But the question that demands an answer is this: if South Africa's own security forces are killing Nigerians, who exactly is protecting them? Good morning, Dr. Abati. Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Rufai. Rufai, I came to you because I'd like for you to, unpack this story. I mean, you saw the minister over the weekend trending because of, the remarks she made about Nigerians and the drug den. That's not what we are talking about. We're talking about legitimate businesses that have been seized. And this is the sort of statements, rhetorics that cause this that fuels this xenophobic attacks. Your comments?
So I think I said on this platform that the government of South Africa is complicit. I made it as a statement then, I didn't have facts. But after this interview with Richard Itoro, we have facts, because he stated that the key participants in this protest were given Hilux vans by the government of South Africa. That's an eyewitness of account of someone that stays in South Africa. Oji, I don't like to respond to flippant ministers from South Africa, because, you see, it shows the way they see us. For her to have the effrontery to say that Nigeria lives in shacks, maybe that's what she lives as a minister. Our entire mindset is a shack itself. So you don't expect her to say anything better for Nigerians that are hardworking in the country. Like I said, they will pay compensation. And not be today, but at some point, they will pay compensation. All of this she's saying is utter rubbish. Richard Itoro stated here that he was paying mortgage on a home worth 1.2 million rand. That's over 100 million naira. The mail trail of the mortgage is there. Do they pay mortgages on shacks? The agent is there. So there are evidence to these trails. He said cumulatively all his assets there, and this is just one person, was worth about 3-point-something million rand. I don't know, I have not done the calculation, but I think that should be in the range of about 300 million naira. So that's like close to $500 million. These are documented assets. So when this minister is saying people live in shacks, they have evidence of their asset. They will pay compensation. See, when we are ready with South Africa, when our government is ready with them, it's not on this Mpumulanga minister that is talking with her mouth, or this Wena that will be talking. When we start to do it at the government-to-government basis, this one will not even be there to see anything. So all this one, they can gesticulate and they can be jakporoing and be talking because they want to win election and favor their local base. And another thing, Oji, we've come to realize is that most Nigerians, they are not illegals. I asked him again, because there's another narrative. Yeah. And almost everybody being harassed in South Africa are illegals. No.
No, we had our Air Peace flights coming. We had our reporters on ground asking the returnees questions, and they were all legal. They had their documents and all of that.
So they are not illegal. So they will pay. They leave all these ones. Who are these ones on the pecking of my government appointee? They will pay. We are coming.
All right, but I'm glad that the federal government has responded really quickly, Dr. Batsi.
The thing to add is that earlier on, we had said Nigeria could follow the example of Ghana and report the South Africans to the African Union Commission. However, the international body that resolves disputes between states is the International Court of Justice, the ICJ. Will Nigeria be willing to go a step further and declare a dispute with South Africa at the level of the International Court of Justice? Because a paragraph in that statement that was issued yesterday morning by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs made it clear that South Africa is complicit. South Africa has failed to discharge its responsibility to protect under international customary law. And 3, Nigeria is calling for an investigation, and Nigeria is saying that South Africa itself should investigate March on March, one of the anti-immigrant groups, and also Operation Ludara. And yet this, junior minister in the presidency comes along, and she just spewing hate and blackmailing Nigerians for problems that were caused by the objective conditions in South Africa itself. If the South Africans say they don't have employment, if they say they don't have jobs, if they say they don't have prosperity, post-apartheid, it is for the South African government to address that. It's not the problem of people from Zimbabwe or from Zambia or outsiders. And then I wonder what some of those former apartheid figures will be thinking now. They will say, well, we seem to have been vindicated. Even Donald Trump is likely to say, well, by pulling out white South Africans, willing ones out of South Africa, he knew that this is how these South Africans would... So the joke is on the South Africa.
Absolutely.
But the Nigerian government, in the sense of protecting its citizens and pursuing citizen diplomacy, may well go to the International Court of Justice. Because if you are expecting that compensation will be given just like that, the South African government has made it clear it's not going to pay compensation. They are even calling us a country of drug dealers.
Yes.
What insult?
Country of drug dealers. We want justice for those Nigerians that have been killed. 3 of them so far, according to the statement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But we also saw Big Joe. We took that story live here on What's Trending. We demand justice. And we need our property back from South Africa, really.
And if this is your first time of coming to my channel, please subscribe, like, press that notification for more information. Thank you.